I found them on the rooftop. My husband's hands tangled in hers, lips pressed together like they'd invented a new betrayal just for me. The summer air stank of cigarettes and cheap perfume. I didn't scream, I didn't storm, I didn't break anything. I walked over, slowly, every step measured, and turned the lock on the rooftop door. Click. Then I flipped the main power switch. Darkness swallowed the apartment. Silence followed. They froze. I smiled in the shadows, then left. I went on a week-long trip, no calls, no explanations, just a suitcase and a plane ticket. I let the silence settle like dust, let them stew in it. That was the first act of revenge, simple but precise. We had met in spring, 7 years ago. He was charming, reckless, the kind of man who made life feel electric. I fell in love with the electricity, the unpredictability, the whispered promises on midnight walks. I trusted him with the corners of my heart I didn't even show myself. And I believed him when he said he loved me. It's funny how the same man who held my hand through storms could one day hold hers instead. I started noticing the shifts months before the rooftop. The sudden late nights, the vague smiles at messages, the way he would laugh at things I didn't see. My intuition whispered, and I listened. I didn't accuse, I observed. The confirmation came like a slap. A text left open on his laptop. "Can't wait to see you tonight. Just us." I saw red for a second. But then, oddly, I felt calm, controlled. It wasn't about anger anymore, it was about strategy. I mapped every move in my mind. I noted her car, her schedule, every excuse he made. I didn't confront, I didn't need to. The power of knowing is terrifying if wielded quietly. I prepared in silence, legal adjustments, financial adjustments, my personal network ready to be leveraged. I didn't need theatrics, I needed precision. The rooftop scene was the trigger. I could have screamed, raged, called them names until the walls shook. But my mind raced ahead of my heart. I envisioned their downfall, humiliation, exposure, the slow unraveling of the perfect lives they thought they had. I locked the door and left, because fear and guilt taste sweeter when delayed, when allowed to fester. During my trip, I gathered my ammunition. Financials restructured, accounts separated, joint investments quietly redirected. I documented every indiscretion, subtle, legal, undeniable. When I returned, the apartment was theirs again, but now every move was under the shadow of exposure. I didn't confront him first. I let the neighbor feel it, quietly. A message left in plain sight. Your little secret is now a public record. The next day, the neighbor was fired. Small, surgical, invisible, but the sting was visible in her eyes when she saw it. She called him frantic. He begged, pleaded. I watched silently. He came home that night thinking I was the same woman who had walked away without a word. I served dinner in silence. Every plate clinked with precision. Every word from him stumbled over the tension I didn't need to voice. He started. I stopped him with a look. Not anger, not rage, but the kind of cold that cuts sharper than any scream. You made a choice, I said softly, and it's yours to live with. I watched as realization dawned. Not just that I knew, but that I had orchestrated the consequences. The power he had wielded over me, the trust he had broken, was gone, replaced with a quiet, unshakable authority that I now held. Divorce followed, clean and efficient. No public scandal, no drama. The community was none the wiser. But I was richer in satisfaction than he could ever imagine. Everything he had depended on, respect, image, control, crumbled silently around him. And I didn't need to shout to see it. Even now, when I walk past the rooftop door, I feel a pulse of triumph. I don't relive pain, I relive clarity. Betrayal is sharp, yes, but revenge is surgical. It's not about destruction, it's about reclaiming yourself. They never saw it coming. The neighbor's whisper of surprise, the husband's silent pleading. They understood only at the end that their reckoning had been long in planning, precise in execution. I didn't make a scene. I didn't need to. I let the world and them watch me rise in quiet inevitability. I am not proud. I am not vengeful in the childish sense. I am empowered. I am careful. I am free. And every time I flick the switch on the power, the memory of that rooftop frozen in time reminds me, the woman you betray is the one you underestimate at your peril. I walked away that night, calm, collected, and unbroken. And in the weeks that followed, I rebuilt a life that no betrayal could touch.